Good afternoon, folks. How are you? Welcome back to another edition of the Chronic Pain Show. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain Demon Demon. It's a nice day out, Tuesday in December, the first Tuesday in December. Actually, the second Tuesday in December. My bad. I'm sorry. The second Tuesday in December, and it's a marvelous day out here in Florida. Sitting outside, trying to, get my podcast going, or my blogging going, I should say. So to my supporters out there, how are you? My friends in Chronic Pain, how is everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing well. Today, guys, I want to talk about, the young Dolph situation. I spoke on it one time, but today I just want to, try to give some follow-ups, and also we all can learn from, what we see going on. Fellas, in this case, we see like a lot of different, misleads, a lot of assumptions, a lot of people taking credit for what happened. And, in a situation like this, you shouldn't feel proud about, taking certain kind of credit because of social media and, the followers and the blogs and, all these hits you could get on the media sites. Because, a young man lost his life, young Dolph, a rapper, a guy that tried to change other lives as well, in Memphis. And then after he lost his life in Memphis, I saw where the violence in Memphis becomes even a little bit more horrendous, on a higher scale, and that to me, it bothers me because I always want to visit Memphis, Tennessee, I want to visit Tennessee, I want to visit Nashville, where all these country and westerns, big stars, Dolly Parton, Elvis Presley, Kenny Rogers, just to name a few, all these big people pass through Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, and some of them also live in Tennessee. So guys, Tennessee have a great history when it comes on to love and music. But with this new way of life with these youngsters in Tennessee, we got to make a change. Because in the young Dolph situation, guys, up to now, his case hasn't been solved. And in my opinion, young Dolph's case should have been solved already because of the tracks that a lot of people left, on the social media sites, about affiliations and people of interest and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that they're totally right, but at least they gave the police, evidence and also a navigation to follow. It might be wrong, but my folks always say back in the olden days, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I do think the police in Memphis have a great analogy of this case, and as far as how they're going to move forward, they're doing it in a very diplomatic way, in my understanding, which is great for the circumstance and how things went down on this case, because this was an assassination and someone's life, someone who have a family, someone who have kids, and also a life partner, and I can't support these type of situations. I really can't, and if it was you, I wouldn't support it either. If it was me, I hope you wouldn't support it either, okay? Regardless of the fact. You understand? So we can't support these type of situations. So I see a lot of smoke screens going on in this case. A lot of people, speculating about, either gang or the music industry, or, people who had ties on the outsides, or, in different areas. But I don't know, because I don't live in those type of circumstances. I don't follow these type of circumstances. But my thing is, Memphis police, you need to solve this case and solve it fast. Because you know what? The more this case linger, the more bodies you're going to see on the streets in Memphis. Let me repeat that. The more this case linger, in my opinion, the more bodies you're going to see in Memphis. And so you guys need to solve this case and solve it, like pronto, because I'm sure you have a lot of evidence leading up towards this case. Allegedly, you have this white Mercedes that was involved in the crime, and I'm sure in that white Mercedes there's a lot of DNA that you guys took from that, and you guys could sample, because a lot of guys in Memphis, sadly, have records, in the criminal, world when it comes on to the police officers. So there's ways to go about, solving this case and doing it in a more efficient and faster way, because technology right now is moving at a fast pace. So pretty much there should be some sort of light, to come out to the public as far as you have suspects, on the watch, or suspects in mind, and you're moving forward with the case. But Memphis police, you need to really come out and say something in regards to this young Dolph, murder. You need to come out and let the public know what you have, and moving forward, what you're about to do. Because with all this said, if you don't do all of that, you know, um, look at yesterday or day before. You have so many killings in Memphis. I think the other day you had three, back to back, last night or yesterday. If you don't solve this case, Memphis police, quickly, there are going to be a lot of bodies you see, just like you see it happening now, jumping back and forth in Memphis. And I don't like to see stuff like that. So I'm pleading with the police officers in Memphis, the governor, the mayor, and all the people who have, their pull in Memphis, just group together, solve this case, and also solve other cases, because it's hard when a parent has to listen to a police officer who say they keep working on an unsolved murder. Your job is to solve these cases, because that's what you go to college for. We come on to forensics and policing and all that stuff. And plus, you got a lot of policing from the public, people on social media. That's policing. Policing intel. You had a lot of those things to work with, and try to go through the fine print and see what makes sense of that. So to me, there was a lot of information out there, given to the police, law enforcement, and I think by now people should hear, or at least the family of young Dolph should hear that you have suspects in mind and you're about to apprehend. So that's just pretty much how it works. There's no way around it. There's a lot of people speculating, but I don't do that. I wait for the arrest and the convictions. I don't call people's name and say they might be this or they might be that. No, I am waiting for the arrest and the convictions, and that's how I go about it, because I don't incriminate people in stuff like this, because this is very serious. This is a murder. This is an actual assassination. So I don't incriminate people. I wait for the results from forensics, DNA, the justice system, and I move forward from that. Because where the proof is, then that's where I stand for, and I move forward. So yes, Memphis police, you have a big burden right now to the Memphis citizen. You hold him deeply, to come to the bottom and resolve this case as soon as possible. Because, in my opinion, I think if you don't resolve this case as soon as possible, the death toll in Memphis is going to keep rising, in different areas, different parts of people, different walks of life of people, different age groups. So I really think we need to get this resolved, and also police officers, the Memphis, sergeants, and all these people need to hold these press conferences on a daily basis, and let people know that we're working hard on these crimes in Memphis, and we're tough in crime, and we're going to resolve all these murders and put all these people behind bars. So Memphis police, you have a lot of work to do. So far, you haven't really shown me much when it comes down to policing yourselves to get great intel to solve these murders. So I'm calling you out when it comes on to these murders, especially young Dolph murder. I'm calling you out, young Memphis police. The public needs to know more. You understand me? So I'm calling you out. So act on this call out, Memphis police, and do what's right. Because I know you have some intels in there. So go out and follow up on your intels and do what's right. You see what I'm saying? Because a life is a life, regardless of the fact. And we have to stop all these brutal killings. Because maybe if you go out there and say certain things and let people understand, it might save a life. So give it a try. Give it a try. It's been a few weeks now. Young Dolph passed away, and up until today, there's no type of we're working towards, or we have certain people in mind. Don't let this be another Tupac or Biggie Smalls, unsolved murder when it comes on to the music industry. Don't let it be, okay? Because this would be so tragic to the music community, the rap world, and also to the urban community. So please, don't let this be another one of those unsolved cases where people are going to have to go off in their own way of thinking, as far as when it comes on to conspiracy theory. So please, guys, solve this case and do what's right and bring these people to justice. And that's all I have to say to you guys, because you know what, in all this and all that said, all these things are chronic pain happening in our neighborhoods, day in and day out, because these are chronic pains, and they could be resolved. But behind these chronic pains, there's also a big gain, when it comes on to the prison industry, um, the court industry, in the courts, the lawyers, the prosecutors. All these are big gains for them. So some of these cases linger for a reason, because there's a lot of money coming out of these cases as far as people getting promotions and people moving into different areas in law enforcement. So please don't let this be a case where people are working for promotion. Let this be a case where people are learning to solve and do it the right way. All right, because a life is a life. This man was a father, a soulmate. He had 2 wonderful kids. All right. So please, Memphis, solve this case as soon as you can, because this case, when you solve it, it could save a lot of lives, a lot of innocent lives as well. Because just remember, before I go, I always say, who feels it knows it. Peace until next time.